from the pocket. Launches to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. A.D.
3rd and 10 from the 11. Travis under pressure, trying to escape, able to escape. Turns the corner, stays in back.
Gets to the edge. Sonny Michel will send the dogs
To
home.
the 30, 35, 40. Herbert Whitfield to the 50, to the 40. Herbert Whitfield to the 30.
Is another first down.
Not dealing with much pressure at all when he does drop back to throw.
With the play action, Bennett looks down the middle. McConkey's wide open. Touchdown, Dogs.
Whew.
What is going on, guys?
It's
How
good
are
to
we
hear.
feeling, Dylan?
It feels great, man. You know, right before the hurricane, we're getting this one in for you guys.
Oh, yeah. We are committed. We have made it to week 1.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone through the offseason. Well, there is no offseason, but for the casuals, we
Yeah.
got through the offseason, and we are here, and feels good to be back. College football's back.
It's almost like surreal. It doesn't feel like it's back, to be honest.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, we got through a lousy week 0.
Yeah.
But we're
You
here.
can watch some of the games, man.
I watched one game, and that was like clips of it. Or
I
parts
saw a
of it.
little bit of the Notre Dame Navy game, but like the USC, the USC game wasn't even on like television. It was on like Tubi.
Yeah, it was on Pac-12 network or whatever.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Come on.
We have got a loaded show for you guys today. We'll go through a little week 1 preview. So we'll headline just a couple games, just some of the main fair games. So we're not going to be doing Virginia, Tennessee, Penn State, West Virginia. We're not doing those. We will do UF, Utah, Colorado, TCU, North Carolina, South Carolina, and FSU and LSU, the main event on Sunday night.
Big game.
Also, remember Monday night, Duke Clemson play. Watch out for the Blue Devils. So we'll do a little preview there, give our picks out there. Week 10 through 13, we'll finish up the biggest games, upsets, and most exciting, as well as college game day predictions. We'll finish that up weeks 8 through 13. And we're going to do our college football playoff predictions, guys. I know that's what you guys are all here for, to see how bad of a prediction job we'll do. But I don't know. I'm pretty feeling good about my picks right now. And Dylan doesn't know because I didn't send him mine. So
mine are completely. Oh,
he's in the dark here. So.
I'm in the dark on pretty much everything. I didn't look at any of your stuff. I just knew what weeks we were doing.
Yes. Yeah, he does not know the main thing. So sorry, Dylan.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. So I guess quick little week 0 main notes. I'm not going to spend too much time, but Notre Dame looks solid with a quarterback. That's Sam Hartman. Granted, played Navy. Navy sucks. Not really going to spend too much time there, but Sam Hartman looked really good, and we'll see. The Fighting Irish, they play Clemson, USC, Ohio State. They get Ohio State and I believe Clemson at home, or USC at home. They go to Clemson. So,
I think they go to Ohio State too.
No, Ohio State comes to South Bend. As well as USC. So you get USC and Ohio State coming to South Bend. They got to go to Death Valley or in Clemson.
Yeah.
So we'll see there. Which leads me into USC San Jose State. The Trojans' offense looks good.
Yeah.
Not as expected. Zachariah Branch looked really good as the freshman. I think it's his last name. But the defense, 28 points given up. They gave up over, I believe, close to 200 yards on the ground. You can't do that to a middle of the pack Mountain West team and expect to be contenders. And this is, again, I don't see anything from the defense.
I think the defense was worse than expected too. Because I think we both said on here that we expected a little bit of an upgrade. Not a massive upgrade, but I don't think either of us expected 28 points to, quite frankly, one of the more, underwhelming teams in the Mountain West. It's not like they gave up these points to Boise State. They gave up them to San Jose State.
Yeah, now it's
You know, it's
28 points. San Jose State is like, it feels like that'd be like 35, 38, 45 points to Oregon or a Washington.
exactly.
So again, if you're gonna play the game where you're gonna let you're gonna have to put the offense on your back, or have the offense put your defense on the back, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
we get the metaphor though, right? Yeah.
it's not gonna end up well. And here we go again. And Alex Grinch will stay around, and there'll just be this endless cycle of USC really good offense, bad defense.
Yeah. The only other thing I thought to say about week 0 is with the Notre Dame game is I've been hearing a lot of reactions. Particularly, you've been here. I don't know about you, but I've been hearing two voices. There's one crowd that says Notre Dame is legit, and one crowd that says, hold on, it's Navy. I think those are the only voices anybody's saying right now. I think you'll agree. I think this Notre Dame team looked legit, because if you remember last year, they barely escaped Navy.
Yeah.
They barely escaped Navy. And this year they made Navy look like what they are. Yeah, I mean.
Well, also, I guess it's also one thing to open up against Navy or to play them in the middle of the week of because it's the triple option, something if you're given months in advance to prepare for, you're not going to get caught off guard about it.
Yeah.
So, if they were thrown in the middle between like a USC and Ohio State game, that's trouble right there, I think. But you get months in advance to prep for it. I feel like I'm more of a crowd of it's Navy. Let's see what they got. But I do think that they are more than capable of beating USC. And I think watch out for Ohio State. There could be 2 upsets happening in South Bend.
Yeah.
Well, they have a quarterback now, which is big. That was holding them back last year.
That's what I was going to say, is that I think the biggest reaction to me is that Sam Hartman looks, obviously he's legit. We saw him at Wake Forest play great ball. But he's actually there for Notre Dame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he stepped in and he immediately went, this is what a quarterback can be for Notre Dame. Because, I mean, for the past few years, Ian Book was all right, but come on.
Yeah, it's and then last year they had Drew Pine, and then he got hurt, and then it was Tyler Buckner.
Just middling quarterback play.
Yeah,
and that's putting it lightly, I feel like.
Yeah, and they still won a bowl game. They still beat South Carolina in the bowl game. So they could be they might be the best 9-3 team if they end up losing to those 3 teams, or they might be a 10-2 team.
Yeah,
and they don't have to worry about it.
I agree with you. I think the only thing holding them back is not being in a conference this year.
But I mean, right now with the alignment, it could be saving them because they're getting all the money from NBC.
Yeah, no, from a money standpoint, I agree with you. But from like a playoff and a that kind of standpoint, it must suck for them because they're going to be right outside.
Yeah, it just gives them a less wiggle room.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're good enough yet. But I think they're talented. It really does suck that they're getting Sam Hartman this early for what Notre Dame is trying to do. Because I think you give him another year. If Sam Hartman, was a year younger and he could be there next year, I feel like you'd be talking about this could be a legitimate playoff team, right? That like Notre Dame, it should be in the talks. But I think right now they're just not there yet.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on Notre Dame. But they get, I think Ohio State's week. What
is that? Week 3?
I think so.
Yeah,
I can double check, but let's see. I got my iPad set up right next to me, so we're gonna get
smart. That's smart.
Smart move. I know. Listen, you after 29 episodes, you learn a couple things here.
I want to get like the dual desktop.
That's right. That's right. Get the mouse going on both screens.
Whoop.
Instead, let's just search it up. Why don't we do that instead of going through each week? Notre Dame football. week 4.
Okay, yeah.
Week 4, they're currently 7.5-point underdogs to Ohio State right there.
I think that number will drop.
Their USC is a 1.5-point favorite heading into South Bend, according to Vegas right now. If I was betting man, and I'm certainly not, you would hammer Notre Dame right there. Who's to say that defense is going to stop them?
Yeah.
Notre Dame's built like Michigan, except they got a quarterback I think is better than JJ McCarthy. So,
But I also don't think their defense is as good though.
No, but I think it's a hell of a lot better than USC.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
So
But I think the biggest question will be if
they were in the game against USC last year with
Yeah.
no quarterback for most of the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, we'll move on though to what we've all been waiting for. Week 1 preview.
Somebody's calling me.
Ooh, you got a phone call here?
Yep. All right, 1 second.
So I'll take the solo ride here. So week 1 preview. We'll start off UF versus Utah. Really good slate of games this week. Couple sneaky games. This should be one of them. Currently Utah 6.5-point favorite. This game is on ESPN, 8:00 Thursday night. It is in Salt Lake City. And biggest question right now is the status of quarterback Cam Rising, who, if you don't recall, tore his ACL back in the Rose Bowl game. So he's been rehabbing back ever since. They also, tight end Brett Keefe is also dealing with the torn ACL rehab. So Kyle Whittingham has already come out and said, listen, I'm not going to elaborate or discuss the details on it. Kind of respect it. You don't want to, if you're playing poker, you don't want to give out your hand. So that's going to be the biggest question mark. There's reports that says Cam Rising feels really good heading into the week. Actually, I think the quote was, let me see. It was, according to Salt Lake Tribune, Utah quarterback Cam Rising feels pretty damn good, but will he play was the question.
Sorry about that.
Oh, he's back.
It was Carol calling.
Uh-oh. Shout out, Carol.
Let's just say the store will not open until after I'm off tomorrow. And I'm getting paid for it.
Attaboy. Paid? Nice.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So, as I was just saying, Utah preview. Biggest question right now is status on Cam Rising. And
are there any updates on it yet?
So, there was, as I just said, while you were on the phone there. So, according to the Salt Lake, no, you're all good. Salt Lake Tribune reported Cam Rising feels pretty damn good, but there's still. But Kyle Whittingham won't reveal his hand here and whether or not he'll play, as well as tight end Brett Keefe, who also tore his ACL last year. So both of them question marks heading in. But I saw earlier this week the depth charts came out, and Rising was number 1 on the depth chart.
Mm-hmm. So
that's got to be. I can't imagine he doesn't play. What his status is, like what I don't think
how
he'll
healthy
be 100%.
Yeah.
If I would assume if he says he's feeling damn good, I would think he's close to 80-ish or higher.
As good as he can get at the moment is what I would think, right?
I don't think the mobility will be there. At least not up to speed where we're used to seeing.
But I think here's the question for me, right? Because if Cam Rising is playing, I think Utah wins this game no matter what. Oh, even if he's not at 100%, I think he's still with his arm, he's still more of a game changer than Graham Mertz is for Florida.
Yeah,
who is the starter for Florida, right? I don't want to make it.
He did. They came out a couple weeks ago, I think, and said that Mertz will be the starter. I think they said that 2 weeks ago. I want to say
that's fair, but I think if Rising does not either play, because there's a chance he's not 100% healthy and doesn't play the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he might, have to alternate snaps to get off the field enough. And if that's the case, I actually might lean Florida.
If I would, that line at 6.5 is it's so you're pushing under the touchdown, which isn't
Yeah.
bad. So you're getting Utah in the half if you lean them because you're getting the touchdown. But 6.5 is a lot, especially with a quarterback unknown.
Yeah.
And I know we like to slander Florida. But who's to say Graham Mertz doesn't go out there and just ball out or something?
Yeah, I mean that's a completely fair point. I do think Utah's defense,
their run defense is they couldn't stop the run last year against Florida.
Yeah.
And Florida brings both their running backs back with ETN and what's the other guy's name? Hold on, I'm gonna look. Florida. Let's go to Florida. We're gonna go to roster, guys. Come on.
Oh,
big time. It's Trevor Etienne. Who's the other running back? Apologize, guys. We got to be on this more. Montreal Johnson. I mean, those guys. Granted, Anthony Richardson. They literally, if you go back and watch the game last year, and I actually watched a highlight of it yesterday during class. What? Anthony Richardson. If they weren't throwing, they were running like a just speed option or just read options in it, and Utah couldn't stop it for their life. And it's if Utah can limit the run, because Florida's probably going to want to try to get the run going, especially with the crowd being in it. You want to try to slow the pace down. Don't play into Utah's hand, but it'll be interesting to see if Utah stops the run and could just force Graham Mertz to throw. Because
that's kind of what they ended up doing last year when they played USC the second time, because they forced USC to throw the ball 40 times.
Well, I mean that's just a normal day, but yeah, that was.
No, I mean USC never even ran the ball after the first.
Well, no, because you start falling behind, and then it becomes the panic mode where I got to throw. And then that's just going to lead into turnovers. They'll end up just dropping everyone back. They don't have to worry about the run. You're in a sense showing your hand right there. This would be a big guard playing reference show today. Showing the hand, poker hand. Kyle Whittingham doesn't want to reveal the hand. He's got that poker face on.
Yep.
But yeah, so looking here, it says it's going to be. I actually ran into somebody yesterday. Some older lady is a Florida fan, because I am in Gainesville right now, who is going to the game. They're flying out of Orlando, though, so they're trying to make sure they get that flight in. But,
before the storm hits?
Yeah. So, what do you think happened? What does Florida have to do to pull off an upset here? One big key.
Graham Mertz needs to be good. I think that's the biggest thing. Is I think not even just good. He just can't turn the ball over.
Yeah, limit turnovers.
Limit turnovers to absolutely none. You turn the ball over even once, and I believe, because I think this is going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it could be just one stupid interception by Graham Mertz where, I was watching some of the blue and orange highlights, and he threw a couple bad picks in that one, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he threw one or two where it was just what are you doing? Why are you throwing it?
Yeah.
He cannot make stupid decisions. He can't just throw the ball up in the air. He's got to be very particular, and I think Florida's got to be very strict on the run.
Yeah.
If they're going to win this game, they got to have a huge day on the ground, and Graham Mertz just needs to be good.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be great. He just needs to be good.
I think this is kind of a big key for both teams, and it's so cliche, but you gotta when your team gets in the red zone, you gotta capitalize on touchdowns, not field goals.
Yeah,
I think touchdowns are going to be at a premium in this game. I think the over/under set at 44.5, so it's not even
high. Yeah.
They're thinking it's going to be a lower scoring game. It's going to be a limit your possessions kind of, I think, limited possession kind of game where, again, if you get inside the 30, you got to start converting that scores.
Score.
And then if you have to hit field goals, you got to make them. No, you can't miss them. So And if Rising plays, I think that's a big help.
Yeah.
I think Florida covers. I think that's a big number, though. I'm
Mhm.
not. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't touch this game.
Yeah.
But
Because I think the
that
biggest problem with this game is there is a absolutely real chance that Utah walks all over Florida. You know what I
there
mean?
is a legit shot. It could be like a 31-10 game, and
Yeah. But there's
we
also
go.
a chance that this game comes down to the fourth quarter, and it's
I
who,
will say
who
if
misses opportunities in the red zone, who turns the ball over.
this feels like a game where it could be either like a really close game, like the USC game was last year in Salt Lake City, or it
Mhm.
could be like when Oregon went there and got absolutely trounced.
Yeah.
So, but what's your prediction on this game?
I believe Utah wins.
Okay.
I believe they win 24-21.
All right. So you have Florida covering
Mhm.
and the over hitting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not by much, but
1 point. That's all you
I,
need. 44 and a half.
I was doing the math in my head, and I was like, I think those kickers are
Well,
going to make
40,
their kicks.
27. That's 28. But 48 right there. I'm going to take Florida, or not Florida. I'll take Florida to cover. Utah to
Mhm.
win outright. I like the Utes to win 28. Nah, they'll get a field goal in there at some point. I'm going to go 27-21.
That's fair. Yeah.
I think it's a one-score game throughout the entire game, but I think
Mhm.
either Utah's up a little bit, and Florida gets a late score, but needs like
Mhm.
some sort of late magic, just can't get it. So,
Yeah.
all right. So there he is. That's our first game. That's Thursday night at 8. We'll move on to now. We'll just kind of the only reason why I did this game was Deion Sanders' big game, his debut.
Yep.
The game is at TCU. So we have TCU, Colorado. Colorado currently is a 20.5 point underdog heading into
Mhm.
Fort Worth. Over under set at 64. The 17th ranked TCU Horned Frogs will look to start their season after getting absolutely blown out by the back-to-back champs. Sorry, I had to throw that one in there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Honestly, I have no idea what to expect in this game. I think it's on Fox. It's the big noon
Mhm.
kickoff game. TCU loses Garrett Riley, so it's a brand new offense.
Yep.
I think Colorado could keep this within 3 scores. I think TCU wins, but I don't think it's 20 by 20.5.
See, I don't know, because the problem with Colorado is there is zero continuity with this team.
Yeah.
Like, this is a coach with limited experience coaching at all. This is a team where I don't even know what percentage, but I believe it's over 50% are transfers who have never played with each other.
No. And
So I
go
mean,
ahead.
it's really hard for me to even say that Colorado can cover, because it's like I don't know what Colorado is at all.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
they're the biggest wild card in like all of sports to me right now.
100%. And really the only reason why they're just because you have Dion coming in, so that's
Mhm.
why they're really even getting attention.
Yeah.
They're currently only getting 8, according to FBI on ESPN Analytics, they only have an 8.2% chance to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think unless Colorado jumps on them early somehow, just like completely takes the crowd out, which they
Yeah.
might. I mean, I can't imagine Deion Sanders knows what's the spread is.
Yeah.
And I bet you they're using that as motivation. The bulletin board material right there.
Hmm.
I mean, Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter and all the other weapons they have. I mean, like the offense is going to be good. I think
Hmm.
Shadur Sanders is going to be a good quarterback. Maybe
I
next
think
year, get a
he'll be,
year under his belt for like Power
yeah.
5, and then going into next year into the Big 12. I just don't know what to expect on TCU side either. I mean, they lose a bunch on offense. They
Right.
keep some pieces on defense, I believe. I haven't
Mhm.
really looked too much into TCU this year. But
I'm pretty sure most of their production on offense is completely gone though.
yeah, so you have a brand new offense, realistically, more than likely, brand new coordinator.
Mhm.
But I mean, you never know. I think TCU wins this game.
I think they win by 2 scores.
Yeah, it's just how many points. I mean, Colorado's defense, I can't imagine it's going to be shocking anybody, but I
The thing
would.
is, they're weird because they have so much talent. You know what I mean? Like
It's
star numbers, but like, what is it?
yeah, yeah. That's the big. I'm going to say TCU wins 38-20.
That's fair.
They keep
Yeah.
within the 20 and a half, but I think it's. I think TCU's too much right now for Colorado. I think Colorado needs to start and then have them winning. I think the week after, they play Nebraska next week.
hmm
That's a game they might steal. I
Yeah.
could see
I
that.
can see that. I can see that.
But
I
going to
yeah.
TCU first game, I don't see it.
That's a really hard way to start your.
Yeah.
But I think it's similar. I think they win. I think TCU wins. I think they win 28-17.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there's not a lot of continuity. There's a lot of guys who I believe there's going to be multiple true freshmen starting for Colorado's defense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know obviously Travis Hunter is playing corner, but I believe the corner on the other side is the number one corner freshman from this class.
Mm-hmm.
Who, like I said, even though he was a 5-star recruit out of high school, you never know, right?
Yeah.
You never know with a guy like that. So it's like I said, I have no idea.
It's
I
like
have
a wild
literally-
card. You're playing the wild card right there.
It's so confusing to even talk about him because it's like, man, what are they?
We're going to find out.
Yeah, like
And it may take a couple weeks.
I do think it's going to take a season.
Yeah. I think
I don't think they're going to make a bowl game this year.
no.
But I don't think Colorado fans should be upset about that.
No. If Colorado won 4 games, they should throw a parade in Boulder.
Mm-hmm.
They won one game last year. So
Yeah.
I think all these guys are really pretty much youngsters anyway. So let them get a whole season under the belt with big time football, and then go from there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna touch on this game, but I totally forgot. Really, Boise State, Washington. Washington hosts Boise State, who's always a formidable foe for anybody. They're a 14.5 point favorite. That's an ABC 3:30 game. Look out for the Broncos. Could be an upset game right there.
Not a bad.
Never
pick.
know. Never know.
Not bad.
That's my upset watch of the game. Upset game of the week, we'll say, if there is one. Or I'd say UF going into Utah, depending on.
Yeah.
All right. So, Battle of the Carolinas here. The Duke's Mayo Bowl Classic, I believe this one is. Duke's Mayo Classic, sorry.
Yep.
You got Drake May, North Carolina, taking on Spencer Rattler and the Gamecocks, South Carolina. Currently, UNC is a 2.5 point favorite. This is a neutral site game in Charlotte. Excuse me. 7:30 game on ESPN or ABC, excuse me. North Carolina ranked 21st in the country. First initial thoughts.
So I think this game is confusing, right?
This is like a toss-up at its finest.
Yeah, because I think UNC outright has a better offense.
Yes.
Even with some missing pieces who have been drafted, I still think Drake May is substantially better than Spencer Rattler, even though Rattler is a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mistake my words there.
He's just the Jekyll and Hyde quarterback.
Exactly. He's very Jekyll and Hyde. He's very, hit or miss. One day he'll look like a legitimate future top 10 pick. The next day he'll look like maybe he should be playing at
a junior college.
Maybe that's a little bit high for some days. Some days with him, maybe you should go to Last Chance U.
Oh man, just
But
unnecessary.
but I do think South Carolina is a better coach team. They're
Mhm.
more consistent team.
Yeah,
Even with the quarterback up and downs, I still think their defense can actually play defense.
yeah. That'll be the big key right there.
Mhm.
I think this is a shootout. I think the
Yeah.
over under 64.5. So look for some guns to be blazing. I think whoever wins the turnover battle in this game, and who can stop the other team first.
Yeah.
I think I would lean North Carolina in the offensive department just because Drake May. They are losing two of their top receivers from last year to the draft, so
Mhm.
it's going to be cool. It's going to be interesting to see who kind of emerges out of that group.
Yeah.
Um,
But
South Carolina lost Jaheim
yeah,
Bell.
two.
They
Let's go.
do to FSU. Nice job. I know they have some pieces. It's
Mhm.
just going to be if what is Rattler going to be about?
Yeah.
Because how he ended the year last year is how South Carolina fans have wanted all year.
Yeah.
Are you going to get South Carolina or Rattler definition or Spencer Rattler quarterback from the Tennessee Clemson game,
Mhm.
or are you going to get him from like the Florida game or the Georgia game?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. I think if he's on it, he will pick that North Carolina defense apart.
Yeah.
I have not seen anything from North Carolina's defense the last couple of years to say otherwise.
There's not a single reason to have any faith in that defense.
No. Keep in mind also North Carolina did actually, I've just remembered, they lost their offensive coordinator to Wisconsin. Shout out Fickle and the gang.
Yeah.
Phil
I don't think
Longo.
that makes a real difference to me though.
No, but it's a different scheme now.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like TCU. I don't think, I think they're going to be still more of a spread. They're going to be spread. Let
Mhm.
May work. Trying to think. South Carolina's defense, they have some guys coming back. There's reports that Rattlers looked good in camp. So
I'm
again,
not
though,
surprised. He's
what
always looked good in
what do
practice.
you what depth what quarterback are you going to get?
Mhm.
That'll be the big question. I think he plays well. I think both quarterbacks play well.
Yeah.
It's going to be really. I think South Carolina's defense leans me towards them winning this just because I think they'll be able to get a few more stops. But I think this is a high scoring affair.
Yeah.
What is your prediction on it?
I'm going to go 33-30. South Carolina pulls out the win.
So you have South Carolina take covering and winning outright.
Yeah.
But the under on that game.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, never mind. Check that.
I think it's
No, yeah, because
is it
64
64?
and a half. Yeah, so you had 63.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna take South Carolina, and I just like I said, I think they have a couple more pieces on offense, and just the defense I think is better.
Mhm.
I can where I'm gonna take them, and the final score I'm gonna say 30. I'm gonna say 37 to. I don't know. You know what? 38-35. This could be like a walk-off field goal situation.
Mhm.
I think. I'm telling you, like this might be a game where whoever has the ball last might win this game.
Yeah.
So
No, I 100% agree with that. I lean South Carolina purely because I don't trust UNC's defense at all.
and then that kind of falls back like the USC team where it's if the offense has one little can't get anything going, defense
over.
isn't helping. It's
Forget
over.
about it. It's the end of the game for you.
That was like the Notre Dame game last year with North Carolina.
Mhm.
Even they were at home, just for some reason couldn't get anything going on offense. Think he might turn the ball over a couple times, and just Notre Dame just
They
did whatever
capitalized.
they
Yeah.
wanted on it.
Yep.
On them. So we both like the Gamecocks, but North Carolina looks. Keep an eye on North Carolina.
I think North Carolina could be a good team. Just this ain't the game for them.
No, I don't think they're any playoff contender, but I think a solid. They could. I mean, they have probably what it takes to win. I think their ceiling is 10 maybe 10 wins. I haven't let me look at their schedule. Let's see. I mean, they have South Carolina, App State, which is no walk in the park, Minnesota, Pitt, they're at Pitt, at home against Syracuse, at home against Miami, at home against Virginia, at Georgia Tech, at home against Campbell. God, they get a bunch of games at home. They are at home against Duke, at Clemson, and at NC State. I mean, I could see lost South Carolina, win at App State, win Minnesota, 2-1 at Pitt. I think with question marks at quarterback at Pitt, I could see them winning that. 3-1 at home against Syracuse, 4-1 Miami. I think they beat Virginia. They're going to slip up somewhere. 7-2, 8-2. I mean, their ceiling, I think, is 10 wins.
Yeah.
The bottom or the floor would be 7, I think, where they might just slip up and lose the North Carolina fashion, and they just can't.
They can't
happen.
get it going.
Everything that could go wrong will go wrong, which is like lost this week, lost next week. It could start 0-3.
Yep.
But I think middle.
I think they're better than that.
Realistically, we'll say 9-3.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll move on to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan's been waiting all podcast.
Yep.
Shout out. We'll just do a quick thing. Georgia taking on UT Martin, first home game in like 2 years. Go Dogs. I think final score
50-0. Yeah.
We'll say 52-3. We'll give them a field goal.
I think they might score 10. They'll
We'll
get
see.
that. They'll get
It'll
that
be fun to
early
see.
touchdown for no reason that every good team gives up.
It'll be fun to see Carson Beck, new offense, and then my issue worries me. Defense is a little banged up at linebacker, and some pieces is secondary. But the running back room, Branson Robinson just went down, ruptured patella. Deshaun Edwards has an MCL injury that he's been dealing with. He has a brace on it.
Yep.
Kendall Milton's been dealing with a hamstring. I mean, they got 3 of their top. One guy's down for the year. They got 2 guys dealing with injuries. They might have to rely on white boy Cash Jones. I mean, that's huge. Uh-oh. Did you freeze? Oh, well, anyway. This looks like Dylan might have froze. So we're going to go to don't know what happened here with Dylan. Oh, he lost power. Oh, that's big time. So Dylan lost power. So we are going to probably have to one-man wrecking ball this ourselves, guys, which is no issue at all. So we'll just have to battle this out. So we're going to go solo here. So FSU, LSU is going to be the main event for week 1. And I would say biggest things going in, FSU has some big transfers coming in, especially in the offensive side, Jaheim Bell. They got the guy from Michigan State coming in, whatever his name is, Coleman. And, they keep guys like Johnny Wilson, excuse me. They have, Jordan Travis coming back. I don't know why I just totally blanked on that. So offense, I have no issue with. Defense, you're going to have, you have your guys like, you have Jared Verse, who's going to be one of the top defensive players in the league this year. So he's going to be big. They got some guys. Florida State's a good team, and it's going to be a matter of can they put it all together, and that'll be the big issue or big key going in. Same thing with LSU. LSU, it's going to be depth. Jaden Daniels, can he take the next step? He played really well last year, a little up and down the beginning of the year, but started out or finished the year really well. Dealing with a little ankle issue, but if Daniels can put it together, they got guys on offense who are just explosive Got guys like Malik Neighbors, who is going to be one of the top wide receivers in the league this year. Um, Other guys like Gregor Clinton, Jalen Brown, Aaron Anderson, um, John Emery comes back at running back. So does uh, trying to see who else is on here. Uh, yeah. So I'm gonna big pieces missing on defense is going to be Mason Smith out suspended for game 1 from the NCAA, which is a little bullish on them because you suspend a kid for doing an autograph signing a week last year before the NIL stuff came out. Why wait now is the big thing. Oh, sorry, Dylan's texting me here. He lost power, guys, which is just unfortunate. Um Sorry, I'm just texting him. We're gonna actually have him just here. Let's see. Maybe we can get him to call. Should we try to call him, guys? Let's see. Maybe I'm just gonna text him and see maybe what his thoughts are. I said, "What are your thoughts on LSU FSU?" So yeah, they lose Mason Smith, which is not ideal in any regards. But you still have Harold Perkins, who's want to be one of the best players in the country this year. You have Makai Wingo still there, the other D tackle. The biggest issue is going to be in the secondary. If they have the depth, this is in Orlando. I think LSU is favored right now. I could be wrong. LSU is favored, 2.5-point favorite. 56 is the over under. Dylan is typing right now to see what his thoughts are. Man, this sucks. He lost power right when we were talking about his team, guys. That might be an issue. Might have to put that in consideration. But I think for me, it's going to be a tale of two heavyweights going at each other. I wish this game wasn't neutral site. That would have been more fun if it was like a home and home stand. Dylan says, I think it's really a coin flip. I do think our offense is better, but I think they have a better athletes. And I would agree with that. I think right now, FSU's offense is going to be one of the better ones in the country. But kind of like what Colorado is, they get a bunch of transfers. Can they put it all together? Is going to be the big question. If they can, they will, and they'll be fine. I think they have legit shot, playoff contender shot. I think they will be in the mix to win the ACC all year. It's clear cut that Clemson and FSU are the two top teams. So, it's really going to be a battle of those two. We'll find out week 5, I believe, when they play. And yeah. So I think he says, obviously, I have a bias to FSU, but our passing attack has gotten so much better since we played last year. I really do think it gives us the edge. I'm going to ask him his score prediction. Personally, I think that LSU. Oh, this is such big because LSU played like just as bad of a game as you could last year and still came up a blocked field goal short of tying it, sending it to overtime, which I think they might have won it. I'm gonna say they're 2.5-point favorites. Oh man, this is big because you could really go either way with this game. I just hope it's a close game. I really hope it's not one of these big near games that like ends up being blowout. I don't think so. The weather could play an issue with this. I don't think it will because the storm that's coming in shouldn't be an issue by Sunday. Dylan has FSU winning 28-24. And I think that, oh man, this is big. But I'm going to lean I'll take FSU too and score 31-27. 31-27. I like